Well, good morning, folks. It's Paul here from Biking Life. On this beautiful, beautiful sunny morning. However, there is a chilly little wind, but it is really nice. Thought I'd left that open. Yeah, I've left the side pocket of my jacket up. There you go, all done and dusted. 25 past 7, 10 degrees, a slight chilly wind, but oh, and I'll tell you what I've gone and done as well. I've left my waterproofs at home. Dear me. So I could end up getting wet on the way home, because again, it's forecast nice in the morning and damp on the afternoon. You just can't write this stuff. You have the same weather day in, day out. What did you think of the gridlock video then, eh? That was some traffic, wasn't it, eh? Yes, it is. You've got to be really careful when you're travelling through stuff like that. You really have. You've got people pulling in left, right and centre. Yeah, it's not good. It's not something I'd want to do every day, but as I say, it does happen occasionally. And apart from that part on the flyover, which becomes what you call like a little bottleneck because the road narrows, barely enough for two cars to get past. Apart from that, there's very little that could stop you getting through it, but you've still got to be really, really careful. It's not good. And thankfully this morning I don't have to call into Asda. Yeah, we do have a wind today. I always do that, you know. I always think, right, I've got everything, I'm all sorted, and then I realise that I have left something, such as my little waterproofs. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't, to be fair. If I have to ride in it, I have to ride in it. I've only got 20 odd miles to go, haven't I? I can manage to survive that, even if we do get torrential downpours. I mean, it's not pleasant, don't get me wrong, but and your arms will get wet through. And because this is a summer jacket, we've got part leather, part fabric here. It's like a stretchy fabric, but it allows your jacket to breathe. The only thing that will stay dry is me hands, because these are waterproof winter gloves still. I just don't think it's warm enough to ride in summer gloves at the moment. I mean, yes, I could if I put the 80 grips on, but I don't want to be putting the 80 grips on. I mean, the one thing I do ride with on all the time is my lights. Now, I have seen some bikers riding along here without lights at all. And I don't understand why they would do that. I've always been taught to ride with my lights on, and that's purely simply from a be seen point of view. You need to be seen, don't you? And I think there's more chance of you being seen if you have your main beam on. Not your main beam, your dip beam. The lovely mill. I'd love to have seen that in, you know, in its former glory. Don't you just love these bends? I do. I've gone from absolutely dreading bends to absolutely loving these. I know it's probably because I'm really, I know them really well. But it's also because I've got big red. And as I've said many a times, this happens to be one of my favourites here. There we go. Getting past the slow ones. They're slow people. It's not their fault. They drive very cautiously. Sometimes overcautious can be just as bad as being reckless. Yes, there's one thing about commuting, you learn to be like I am, you know. Don't get me wrong, I am cautious. But you learn to ride with the flow. And as a biker, I've always said you do become a little bit more aware, unless you're completely complacent, of course, but you know, I am aware of a lot of what's going on around me. Now the debate is whether vlogging actually prevents you from seeing everything. You know, you've got to ask yourself that. Can it? And I believe it can at certain times. It can make you less aware of what's going on because you're that deep in a conversation. You've just got to learn to multitask as a fella. It's pretty easy for a woman to multitask. They do it on a regular basis, but as a fella, we don't. Can we? Of course we can. Of course we can, folks. We can do anything we set our minds to do. And that is a true fact, isn't it? If we really want something so bad, there's nothing that really should stand in your way. If you really are determined enough, then nothing should stand in your way of getting done what you want to get done. Regardless of the wind though, it's as I say, it's 10 degrees, so it's relatively warm, and I do only have a t-shirt on under here, so I'm actually quite comfortable this morning, and I've got my neck buff on, but normally I pull it up over my face, but this morning I haven't. It's quite, it's nice. I don't want it over my face. Oh, the air is nice and fresh this morning. It really is beautiful. That smell that you get after rain when all the air is clear and that, it's absolutely gorgeous. You know, every day that goes by and every day that I'm on this bike, I'm enjoying myself even more. And I suppose it helps with the weather being like it is. It's a little bit dry, you know, now. A little bit warmer. I ride better me when I'm not cold but not warm. It's that in between where I'm just fine. I'm perfect. For me, it's a perfect operating temperature. Yes, one of the my subscribers said to me, you know, maybe you shouldn't delete the video footage that I took yesterday, and he's right, I shouldn't. What I should have done was kept it, and what I'm going to do from now on, and this is the plan, is if I'm unsure as to whether it'll make a decent video, there is certain parts of the footage that would make a good compilation video, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep the footage, but you know, start making it with multiple videos. And that's what I'm going to do, and I think it will be good doing it that way, to be fair, because in yesterday's video there was quite a lot of overtaking and what have you. It was an enjoyable ride. I just didn't talk much, and part of the battle with vlogging is you can't just be quiet all the time. You need to be talking, don't you? Yes, I think today I'm going to order some brakes. I've decided I'm going to give the brakes an overhaul and give them a new lease of life. Yeah, I'm enjoying this ride into work this morning. I feel a little bit elated in my, how do I say it, how I feel. I feel a little bit better today. Yesterday morning I was absolutely knackered, and I think that was the problem. I hadn't slept for the last couple of nights, and I'll tell you the reason why. On the Sunday, was it Saturday night, I had this strong feeling to wake up. I'd gone to sleep, me and the wife had gone to sleep, and I had this very, very strong feeling to wake up and look around at Vicky, my wife, which I did. And when I turned round, the covers had been pulled off her. Now, you know, I decided to cover her back up and what have you, and she woke up. And I said, "Did you kick the covers off you?" She says, "No." And if I did, I can't remember. That was a response. And then, which I thought, well, surely you would have thought, but if she was half asleep, maybe not. But then I was laid awake a little bit and looking out into the room, and the hairs on the back of my neck and my whole head stood up on end. It was like you got that sense that something was there. I know there wasn't nothing there, but it's just had that sense of something there. And so I haven't really slept for the last couple of nights, apart from last night, which was nice. That's why I feel a lot better this morning, because I'd slept really well last night. But it was a weird feeling, that. Has anyone else experienced anything like that? If you have, let me know in the comments below. And our lass just laughs at me, you know, when I told her what was going on. And she just laughed at me, bless her. Yeah, I mean, you can't explain it. It was like a very powerful feeling to wake up. And I was asleep, and you know, it was telling me to turn around and look at Vicky. Well, I'm not saying it was specifically telling me. It was like I knew that's what I had to do. And as I did, as I say, she was uncovered and was rather cold. I love the throatiness of Big Red. He's sort of come to life. And like Graham did it, I mean, for me, it took some getting used to, because I was used to the sound of the GSX 750, which is a completely different noise. But yeah, I do quite like this throatiness of Big Red. Well, he's a big 4-cylinder, isn't he? He's a big lad. Yeah, so plan of action today is order some brake pads for this, and then at the weekend I'm going to do a service on the brakes. That's my plan. And I won't film it because I don't do stuff like that. I don't do. There's plenty of videos out there. I mean, GT Garage is one if you're interested in like pan-European brake changes, because he does a brilliant video on the changes of changing the pads and actually bleeding the brakes, the ABS assisted brakes and stuff. Although I will say Big Red hasn't got ABS. Is what you call, it's like a dual braking system on Big Red. A certain percentage, when you pull the front brake, a certain percentage of the rear brake is applied, and vice versa. Hence why you go through the rear pads more so. Well, we're over the Newport. Well, we're coming over the Newport Bridge. Yeah, another point that was pointed out on the yesterday's video gridlock was that the rubberneckers on the other side were causing chaos and tailbacks. So, you know, I mean, that's what it's human nature to be curious, but that's what was causing chaos on the other side of the road too. Anyway, I'm near work, folks, and it's time I went. So, thank you very much again for watching this video. And I will say bye-bye for now. I've been Paul from Biking Life. Bye for now, folks. Bye.